So we are here on Lanta, the fourth day of Pirate Jam. I've just fed my crew, we've got the boat prepared for battle, and we're waiting for 9 a.m. so that the race will start. Our plan is to fire cannons and rockets at Esper all the way up the coast, and yeah, we'll see who gets the Long Beach first. Well, the race is on, but without wind, it's not really much of a race. We're going to try to get a little further out and see if we can't catch some more. After an unsuccessful attempt at a race from the southern end of the island to the northern end of the island, we aboard Synchronicity were forced to throw in the towel when there was not enough wind, so we conceded, turned on the motor, and made our way up to the beach here. The team is now working on their games, and they're settled in for the rest of the evening. One of the things that makes game development in Paradise like this feasible is the engine technology that these guys are using. And for Pirate Jam 2017, we were fortunate enough to get a sponsorship from Unity. They are also the ones who supply the engines that most of the guys are using to work on their games. So we're going to talk to them a little bit about why Unity is so good for game development and game jams in particular.
Why Unity is so useful for game jam is that so many people use Unity. So what that means is if you have a problem, let's say you've got a technical issue, you're trying to figure it out, likelihood is someone else on the game jam is going to be able to help you because they've probably had Unity experience. But if not, you can just go online and search the forums and someone is bound to have had a similar problem to you. So it's just really, really useful if you're stuck, you know that you're going to be able to get out of that situation most of the time.
I'm using Unity for the jam because I like getting down to the meat of what a project really is as fast as possible. So if I don't have to spend time writing, lighting, and rendering and all that other stuff and importing assets and whatever, then I can spend all that time writing gameplay. So the idea is to get to your actual thing that makes your game different as quickly as possible, and that's the easiest to do with a preset engine, and Unity's really good at that. I also really like how Unity's UI structure works at the moment. My game is kind of like 2D because it has cards, so the UI is really going to help with that.
So yeah, one reason, which is the reason I really like using Unity, is the fact that you can port it onto a lot of devices. So I'm going for possibly mobile friendly. So since I'm using tab controls, it should work on computers just as an Android device or an Apple device. So it's nice that it's possible to export an APK to quickly test on a mobile device. And of course just the ease of getting up and running.
Although I'm not using Unity this time around just because I've used it a lot and wanted to learn something new, in the past I've had a lot of success using Unity, and I've used it professionally, in school, for hobby, for other game jams, and because of that it's like a very practical engine to know, and it's applicable to basically any kind of genre or idea you may have. And also the fact that it's been around for a while, so online there's any sort of tutorial or whatever you need, or at least someone out there who can answer your question, or a friend who would know the answer or something.
So for my jam game, I'm working with the Unity engine. I think it's important to work with the right tool, and this is kind of an area where the Unity engine really shines. Like, I think there's pros and cons to every engine you can use, but when it comes to a game jam, especially if you're working as like a single programmer, you're trying to do something that's like quite mechanically focused or like mechanically experimental, Unity is definitely I definitely say it's the best tool for that task.
One thing I know it really well, I used it a lot in school. It's easy for me to get things up and running, and I like coding in C# for all of my projects. It's a little bit easier for me to think that way as opposed to using some like node-based scripting and that sort of thing. And I'm not quite as low level as C++, so yeah, it's good for just kind of single-use projects, getting things going when it's just me programming.
Well, that's the end of the third day, and it's been a really good day, hasn't it? We've had some great sailing, and it's good to see everyone getting on so well. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it has. It's been really good. It's been a lot better than I imagined. I was slightly worried about what it's going to be like having 3 complete strangers on the boat. But they said to us yesterday, would you ever do this again? And I had to say, yeah, I probably would. You know, with people like this, they're all 6 of them really interesting, erudite, clever people to talk to, and been very helpful on the boat. And as crew, today they were particularly good because, of course, we beat American McGee.